A river is running through it, an atmospheric river. And thanks largely to this anomaly of the atmosphere, there's a super bloom now in Anza, Borrego. And for the nuts and bolts of specific cause and effect, we turn to Alex Tardy of the National Weather Service, his office in Rancho Bernardo. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, glad you're here. We're hearing the term atmospheric river, as I said in the open here. It's a lot this winter. Define what it is and how long can we expect the wet pattern to last?
Yeah, so an atmospheric river is a term you're hearing a lot of. It's not really new, but what it is an abundance of moisture that comes out of the Pacific Ocean, sometimes out of the tropics, but anywhere in the Pacific. And storm systems that we get bring that moisture. We don't hear about it during the drought years much because we don't have any storms to draw that moisture up. So it's kind of a combination of the two. But really, it's like a regular river or stream. It's a flow of moisture high up in the atmosphere, 10, 20,000 feet. And when that's pointed on you, you get a lot of rain and sometimes snow too in the high terrain.
And how do weeks of solid rain trigger an event like this super bloom we're seeing out in the desert? And do we need a drought to precede the rain?
So the rain obviously is very important for any germination of seeds, whether it be in the desert or in your own garden. So this rain is the biggest component. We don't need a drought before because the seeds are typically laying around and ready to go, if you will. But we need that right combination of rain early or middle of the winter, and then we need warmth conditions on top of that so that when the seeds germinate, they don't rot and they turn into flowers and start growing. And then eventually we see the flowers. But ultimately, yeah, the rain is the most important.
But as you say, it's a series of effects, because I read here just today that Death Valley gotten rain, but they're not getting the super bloom that we're seeing down south here.
Yeah, the timing is really important. So sometimes we can see one, sometimes we can see two different blooms, or as much as three. So when the rain comes in the middle of the winter, say December and January, that can really set the stage for March and April for almost a perfect bloom in the desert areas.
Okay, and is there anything unique about Anza Borrego area makes it a prime location, or is this kind of common throughout the deserts of Southern California?
A lot of the deserts have it. Back in 2017, it wasn't just Anza Borrego. We saw it through the Coachella Valley, the Mojave Valley. It was widespread, even some of the Imperial Valley. But you still need soil conditions that, support the seeds. Some of our sand dune areas in the deserts, you're not going to see the flowers, but Anza Borrego is very unique in that it has a lot of the cacti. It has a lot of native vegetation. It used to be a lake bed, so it's very fertile to allow growth of these flowers.
Now, we've seen a lot of rain here, of course, in the last month in February, but how does this winter compare to recent winters, especially that drought-ending winter of a couple of years ago?
So this year has been wet, as most of us have noticed, and we're going to notice with the really green conditions and the flowers in the desert. When we look at past winters, 2017, 2011, and even 2005 winters way back, they were wetter. So it isn't unprecedented, but compared to the last 10 years, we've only seen 2 other years that are this wet.
And of course, folks who've lived here a long time know that the snowpack is key in the Sierra, and they've been getting a ton up there as well, right?
Yeah, snowpack is something that maybe we take for granted at times. We assume that the mountains always have snow. Last year was a record dry year for not just rain, but also for snow. We saw places in the Sierra Nevada with over 250 inches of snow just in February. So snowpack is very important for filling up those reservoirs and then allowing us to distribute that through our water supply system.
Well, they'll be skiing up there through July 4th at least, and right now we'll be enjoying the wildflowers in the Anza Borrego desert. Thanks very much, Alex Tardy, for joining us.
That's a perfect combination, the desert flowers and skiing at the same time.
There you go. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you.